Best from the West, thanks to Racing WA TV. Tune in to Racing WA TV on 7 Plus, your ultimate destination for everything racing in the West. Our first guest is Rob Archibald. He joins us now. Good afternoon to you, Rob.
Good afternoon, Gareth. Thanks for having me.
Numerian, he's an old boy, isn't he? He's 9-year-old. But, geez, I loved his effort in the Northerly the other day.
Yeah, I thought he was excellent. He was obviously 5 weeks between runs, and he got caught on a limb, which, from the draw, it was always going to be a little bit sticky. But I thought he stuck on bravely considering the run he had, and that should really tighten him up. And we always felt like the Van Hinks was going to be probably the more suitable race of the preparation, and hopefully that, all comes together for him on the weekend.
Yeah, it looks a lovely race for him. Weight for age, it's worth $300,000, and he looks like he'll get into this race perfectly come Saturday.
Yeah, look, exactly. Back to weight for age should suit. He's in good order. I think fitness-wise, that'll really tighten him up. That the run in the Northerly, and hopefully he can just draw a nice soft gate, and we get a lovely economical run. And if we get that, confident he can run well.
And some horses just love Perth. He looks like he enjoys WA.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, he adapted really well last year, and seems to have done the same again. He's thriving since he's got there. He likes the tracks. He likes the style of racing, and he's all the right signs. He seems to have come through the run well. So, just hopefully he can take that to the racetrack. But certainly from our point of view, we couldn't fault him. Yeah,
and he'd be looking to defend his title in the Tev M Heath. And as you point out, under the conditions of weight for age, it is probably a better race for him than the Perth Cup. But how would you compare his form to this time last year?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to sort of way up, but I think he's probably going pretty similar to how he was last time, although his probably form doesn't quite read as well. But he put together that good run first up in Brisbane, and then he sort of slightly tailed off. And I just thought his run in the Northerly was really solid, and that was sort of the signs we wanted to see from him. He's obviously an older horse. He doesn't owe us anything, so if he ever shows us any signs that he doesn't, he's not really at the peak of his powers, then we'll be the first people to pull up. But look, he thrives on racing. He loves being in work, and look, as I said, hopefully that it all comes together for him on Saturday.
And you're building up some association with the local gun jockey, Clinton Johnston Porter. I would imagine he'll keep the ride.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's booked a ride. He's done a great job for us every time we've put him on, and he's obviously a real talent in his own right. We were so pleased for him to obviously get the result with Port Lockroy. He gave him an absolute perfect steer, and I think it's probably just like anything. It's just opportunity, isn't it? But he's certainly talented, and I'm sure he'd hold his own wherever he goes.
Poor old Port Lockroy. I was watching that race thing on Saturday, and he didn't have much luck at all. And I was thinking Robin Annabelle was thinking, well, maybe we should have kept him in Perth.
Oh, that's exactly what we were thinking. We were, it was a line ball, and we felt like, well, he'd run well over the mile. Let's sort of stick to what's been working. But we probably pulled the wrong rein in hindsight. And from the inside draw, it actually just probably went against us.
Yeah.
He just, we ended up just too far back, and he was only just getting going the last 100. So, look, that happens. It didn't work out for us on the weekend, but I'm sure he's gone for a nice break now, and he's going to be a really nice horse sort of second half of the autumn into Brisbane, and maybe even back to Perth for next year.
Yeah, he's done the job to win a Group 1 like that, like the time-honoured Railway Stakes. You've done a wonderful job with him, Port Lockroy, and looking forward to seeing what Numerian could do in the Tev M Heath as he looks to defend his title in that race, and hopefully, well, he was fourth and he was honest in a Perth Cup last time around, so I don't think it's a vintage Perth Cup this time around as well. There's Serpentine and maybe Young Verta that we're getting on a plane. I think Monday night it goes. You're not sending any other horses, are you, to Perth?
We're just weighing up at the moment the logistics with Naval College. So he's one horse that could take his place from our stable that's over our way at the moment.
Would you have to pay a late nom?
Yeah, he's nommed, yeah.
Okay.
He's nommed, yeah.
Yeah.
So we could have a look at that. And outside of that, look, it's, as I said, the weight for age obviously suits Numerian, and we'll see how he goes on Saturday. If he runs well, then he may back up into the Perth Cup. If not, then we may just pull up and come home.
So there's a strong possibility that Naval College might go then. What is it, 50-50 or?
Probably a bit more than that at the
Okay.
moment. We're just trying to work it out. So we'll have a better idea in the next sort of 48 hours.
Yeah, I was talking to Chris Calthorpe this morning. It looks like, I think it's Monday night, the flight leaves from Melbourne. Obviously, it's a little bit difficult this time of the year because there's Christmas going on, so there's a lot of cargo that is going to Perth, and obviously the horses are the last to be put on the flight. But he reckons it's a 75% chance, basically, of getting that flight for those horses to Perth. So that'd be good for the Perth Cup if you can get a Naval College and a Serpentine and a Young Verta that can turn up, mate. So we'll see how that story unfolds there later on or early next week. But we appreciate your time, and good luck with the old boy on Saturday in the Ted Van Heest.
Yeah, thank you very much, Gareth.
He's had a carnival where he hasn't had much luck, but hopefully that can change a little bit in the Ted Van Heest on Saturday because In Good Order will be representing his stable. He doesn't go around in the ATA Stakes on a Wednesday afternoon, which is tomorrow, and he joins us now. G'day, Dan. Thanks for your time, mate.
No problem. Thanks, Gareth.
Was it a hard decision not to go to tomorrow's ATA Stakes? Instead, you head to the Ted Van Heest?
Yeah, look, we did weigh it up, hence a later scratching. So BJ Ryan, that is our racing manager here, we put a lot of thought into it. We are, the Van Heemst is a weight for age, and you're going to give away ratings points, but we're sort of backing the horse in. I really expect him to be a good horse in time, and I didn't want to be in a position where I'm in a ballot trying to get a start in a $1 million race in 2 weeks. So I expect him to go well. I expect him to get points. I expect him to be in a Perth Cup.
Yeah. So I thought his run the other day was really good behind Playhouse Patron. It wasn't easy to make up ground, and the leaders seemed to dominate, but he was the one that actually made up ground out wide that day.
Yeah, sort of visually it looked like he was had his opportunity and was a bit plain late, but statistically he couldn't have gone any quicker. Like, he ran a very quick 600, and like you say, the race just set up for the first two in running, ran first and second. So yeah, he was good, and pretty much it's all we needed to see going forward with a bit of confidence.
It's tricky with these horses, and we've seen it throughout the carnival, that from a training perspective, you get these horses that have to keep on turning up in a few grand finals because you haven't got that much of an opportunity really to race for this type of prize money. And you've been able to do a great job with In Good Order, but I guess it's that juggling act where you need to keep on producing him close to his best so he can try and make these races like a Perth Cup.
Yeah, like when you're not have the ratings points, these horses are still rising through the ranks. So, it's a bit of a juggling act to get them into the race without, gas them in between time just to make sure you're there. But it's probably hence our decision to take our chance on Saturday as opposed to tomorrow. Can
he win a Perth Cup if he can get into that race?
No doubt.
Yeah.
We've had a good opinion of him from the get-go. I think he's a proper star in the making. So, yeah, I'd like to think he can win. I'm not there to make up numbers.
Yeah. What about Super Mink? Didn't have much luck at all, did she, during the carnival? She was unlucky on a few occasions.
Yeah, frustrating for Connections and myself there. So she drew awkward in the railway and we rattled home from last. It was a great effort, and then she just had zero luck in the probably ended up back too far in the northerly, which was possibly one that got away from us, and then she was great again the other day with no clear air. So yeah, no luck, but she's a high class mare, and if she's okay, which I think she is, she hasn't been bottomed out at all this prep. So we're looking at an Eastern States prep with her, which will include the Ore and the Futurity and hopefully an All-Star Mile. So that's where we're penciled in for so far.
She's a 4-year-old by Super One, but in saying that, you've done a great job with her, and she's not bottomed out yet. But when you have a look at her campaign, it's not easy to do what these horses have done over the pinnacles. Like, you get them ready for a railway where she was placed behind Port Lockroy. She had no luck in a northerly, and then so she goes from 1,600 to 1,800, then back to 1,400 metres. Just explain the challenges for a trainer to get your horses to do that.
Yeah, well, you got to have the right cattle for a start.
Yeah.
You know, most can't do it, but like I said, she's a high class mare, and we just knew that we'd never got to the bottom of her in any of those runs, including the last one. So you know, it was a short back up from the 18 back to the 14, which the only. You know, she was great going into all three races. We were very confident. She started favourite in two of them. And like I say, we didn't ring her out. So we get another opportunity, hopefully, over East.
What do you think her best trip is, Dan?
Probably the 14 and the mile.
Yeah.
So hence the, the attraction of those three races over there.
Yeah, there's so many options these days, especially on the eastern side of the country for a horse like her.
Yeah, there is, and obviously with the competition between Sydney and Melbourne, there's a lot of races that spreads a lot of horses out, and with some I guess wait a little while and head further north to the Brisbane winter. So yeah, look, well if she's good, if she's 100% happy and sound and everything, we'll put her on the plane. If not, we'll put her aside and wait for something else.
Beautiful. Is there any winners coming up for us this week?
Well, I hope so. It's been a little while between drinks here, but yeah, we got three going around there tomorrow and 4 Thursday. Yeah, the whole team's going good. Yeah, I'm sort of excited about a lot of our younger ones coming through now. We haven't pulled the trigger on any 2-year-olds yet, so yeah, I'm quite looking forward to what we've got still in the cupboard.
Yeah, Very Carthy goes around that 2,200 metre race there tomorrow with Parnham aboard. That's Brad Parnham.
Yeah, like she goes, it's a fair step out from a mile to the 22, but she's a So You Think mare. All indications are she'll get it for us, so, we might just have to be a little bit conservative in the run, but I think she should be a good each-way chance at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like pretty much everything in the next couple of days should be decent each-way chances.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, mate, going forward with that. Obviously, In Good Order can run well in a Ted Van Hees and then go to a Perth Cup with no weight on his back and win you a Perth Cup, mate. But we appreciate your time as always.